This is Sandstorm.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Vitoverse Reviews. This is episode 5, week 5 of Secret Invasions, man. And I don't want to say it went down, but it definitely did pick up. It's the episode before the last episode. So next week is going to be wrapping up the series, the season finale. So hopefully they get to the point. So, this week was a lot more I guess closure to a lot of things. So I'm basically going to kind of just briefly go over certain characters, not in the order the episode went in, but just mainly like their particular scenes or whatever real quick, and kind of give my thoughts on everything at the end of everything. So if you're new to this channel and you don't know what I'm doing right now, I am doing a review on Secret Invasions, which, I kind of said at the beginning, but if you don't want anything spoiled, this is your chance to actually back out the video, then come back and, listen to my thoughts if you want to, you know what I mean? I'm very appreciative that you clicked on this video to begin with. But before you go out, if you haven't watched the episode, click that like button. Just just one time for me, one time. But anyway, yeah, man, let's get right into it. I'm gonna try to keep this brief, man. I definitely am pressed for some time right now, but I'm gonna try to stretch it out and explain what I can, but still try to speed through this. But anyway, let's start off with the elephant in the room, Scrody. You know what I mean? We found out, of course, last week that Rhodey's a Skrull, and we don't know how long Rhodey has been a Skrull, and it's actually a female Skrull. That's what's funny. But we don't know how long this has been going on. Now, they kind of give a hint in a time frame, so I'm pretty sure all the theory, people out there, they're probably calculating when when Rhodey became a Skrull, but they really didn't say this episode. I'm sure they might say it next episode, hopefully. Next episode is the last episode of the season, so yeah, I gotta kind of wrap it up, you know what I mean? So anyway, this episode started off with Nick going to the hospital with the president. Last week, the Skrulls, Gravik and his Skrulls, they attacked the U.S. president and tried to blame it on Russia. So Nick is actually wheeling him into the hospital, trying to tell the president, hey man, don't trust Rhodey. Something crazy going on with that, and it wasn't the Russians that attacked us. So he's kind of trying to say this, but the president's actually unconscious, so I guess he's trying to say it while he sleeps. It kind of, like embedded in his mind, so when he wakes up he remembers, like somebody said don't trust Rhodey, you know what I'm saying? So then we get over to Rhodey on his way to actually finish the deed. He's actually coming to delete the president and finish off what happened. But Gravik calls him and was like, hey, look, no, don't do that. And he tells him some things which I'll address, when I talk about Gravik. But Rhodey was kind of a little confused or whatever, but he's like, all right, cool, whatever. But you can kind of see that Scrody is definitely starting to not have faith in Gravik's plan. Something's going on. But anyway, get to the hospital. Nick's waiting on him, bum rush him, put him at gunpoint. They have their little smart aleck little exchange, and Scrody actually tells Nick, I actually released that video of fake you killing Agent Hill. So now you got Nick Fury as public enemy number 1. You know what I mean? So he's on the run now. So he leaves. Rhodey says some old smart stuff or whatever, and then we get to Rhodey going into the room, or in the room with the president, and he's doing his manipulation and telling the president exactly what Gravik told him to tell him. So we'll see next week what exactly happens with the Scrody. Hopefully they will give us a little update on where's the real Rhodey. You know what I mean? So let's get to Gravik. Now Gravik, he's losing his mind. That plan didn't go according to nothing. Nothing happened the way it was supposed to, and the existence of Skrulls was actually shown. You know what I'm saying? So now the world they know there's some shape-shifting green men that was at this attack. You know what I mean? And it's getting a little, so Graphic actually is like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna tell everybody that Skrulls exist, and that's what he tells Rhodey to tell the president, that the Russians have been using or working with the Skrulls, and they've been doing this undercover thing, and they have been infiltrating governments and things of that nature. And so he's trying to still make a plan and still start this World War III, but now his followers, especially his number one man, he's questioning Graphic. You know what I'm saying? I think honestly they feel some type of way about him killing Talos. You know what I mean? But nothing's going to plan. You know what I mean? And they're losing faith, and they're like, okay, you promised us this, you promised us that, and basically has an exchange with that right hand man and kills him. You know what I mean? So now he's gone. So the guy from the beginning of the series that was looking for refuge, the Skrull that was looking for refuge and went to the camp or whatever, he's became a soldier, and he's been on a couple of missions. Well, he has this look in his eye because this whole time, he hasn't been wanting to do this in the, beginning in the first place. So he's like, look, man, I have some concerns. He goes up to Graphic and says, look, I have some concerns. I'm a little scared and this and that third. And Graphic's like, well, blah, 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 this and that third. Don't worry. Graphic gets on the phone. I think he talks to Scrody. And while he's on the phone, evidently those soldiers, plus that dude I was just talking about, they had planned out a attack on Graphic. So now they're in there whooping up on Graphic. They had a sledgehammer, hit him across his back a couple of times. They try to put a bag over his head, strangle him to take the air out of him and stuff. Then Graphic just goes super Skrull and handles business and wipe the floor with them. You know what I mean? It was kind of funny, but anyway, he's basically looking at all the rest of the Skrulls like, if any of y'all want to try it, come on. What y'all got to lose? I'm gonna win anyway. You know what I mean? So, so he's just losing his mind, man. And they still have not explained why exactly is he so mad, and why is he on this mission to make a Super Skrull and take over this planet? Like, what pushed him over the edge? You know what I mean? So, besides just being hidden for so many years and doing Nick Fury's dirty work, you know what I mean? What else is there? You know what I mean? So, hopefully they give us some satisfaction next week with the finale. So the next person I want to talk about is Gaia. Now her scene, it's more of a, now that I am not with Graphic anymore, where am I to go? He just killed my dad. I have nowhere to go. Nick goes to that place of refuge that the Skrulls and him first met. They had that agreement to be Nick's underground network, and they have an exchange. Basically, she's basically saying, why should I trust you? Or, why did my dad trust you? You know what I'm saying? Like I want to finish this off, but what are we doing now? You know what I mean? Now that I'm not with them and I don't have a purpose, I want to, I want to help out, but I want to know, why is working with you going to benefit me? How is it going to benefit me? Type stuff. And, Nick breaks it down to her and, have this kumbaya moment and basically tell her, with great power comes great responsibility, you know what I'm saying? Because now that she has powers and stuff. So we get to her. She has to bury Talos. We see the body of Talos. So she's actually on her way to Nick's wife. Now, Nick, before leaving that place of refuge or whatever and talking to her and giving her that speech, he told her to, meet up with his wife, and they'll know how to, give him a proper Skrull burial. So she's heading on her way over there. She knocks on the door, meet up with Nick's wife, and she's thinking, she's there to do an execution, because basically she's been there waiting for the Skrulls to come to execute her since she did not kill Nick, and she's a traitor to Gravik. So she's just waiting, for a fight, and Gaia's not there for that. So she explains the whole situation. They buried Talos, or they do the ceremony for Talos and send him off right. So Gaia's having a talking to a OG Skrull moment where she's learning some stuff about the culture and learning some stuff about Nick Fury and his wife and stuff like that, and basically why she's not out on the run and waiting for, and she's waiting at home for the Skrulls to come, try to execute her or whatever. So she explains, basically, if I'm out in the world, basically I don't have any like safe place to kind of fight back. At least here it's built like a fortress, I got weapons all over the place. And I guess kind of right at that moment, those Skrull soldiers came and busted in, start shooting, and we got some combat going on with Nick Fury's wife and Gaia. They went they did a little Mission Impossible on this and stuff. So that was cool, seeing that exchange, and the fact that she got secret compartments with weapons and backpacks and survival kits and all this other stuff, and they doing their thing, they secret agent thing. So they quickly get rid of those soldiers that came to kill them or whatever. And we'll see what happens next week with Gaia and Nick Fury's wife and all that. So now we're going to get to Nick and Sophia. Now, this whole time I've been doing a review, I've been saying the British lady because I kept forgetting her name, but it's Sophia. We pick up with Sophia. She's addressing her little corruption in her little government type of situation, and outing the Skrull in her constituency, and she does it the way she does it, that did that interrogation, except this time she shoots the dude in the hand or whatever like that. So she's a trip, man. Like, it's like a sinister Mary Poppins or something, like it's weird. Like, she has this nice polite way to talk and all this other stuff. So she's she's definitely a nice little character. I guess she's like the British version of Nick. Or no, actually she's the British version of Val, yeah. So anyway, she's doing her little shakedown on all the Skrulls and all this other stuff. She's finding out her informations and what's going on, and finding out that Gravik is actually after this thing called the Harvest. And fast forward to Nick. He actually has Sophia pick him up and take him to Finland. He has to get prepared or whatever like that. So on the way to Finland, Sophia and him, they talk about what's going on. He reveals that Scrody is a Skrull. Sophia didn't know that. She didn't also know that Nick is married to a Skrull. And he reveals that during the last battle that the Avengers had with Thanos, there was bloodshed all over that battlefield, and so he sent a Skrull team in to clean up all that blood and DNA, because they didn't want that DNA and powers to go in the wrong hands. So basically Gravik was part of that crew, that's why he knows about it, and basically he's trying to get his hands on it. But every place that he's been going this whole time has been he's been out of luck. He hasn't been able to find it. So Nick gets to Finland. He goes to one of his headstones. He has a whole bunch of headstones all over the place. He does some kind of breathing activation. The headstone opens up, and actually, I think that might be the vial of the harvest with the DNA. We don't know yet. I think it is. He said it is, but for it to be in one little vial of all of those DNAs, that's kind of weird. But even if it's not, they showed him getting his eye patch back, getting suited up, got his leather coat on. Nick Fury, this version of Nick Fury is literally Shaft. You know what I mean? Like, all the black people know that this is not Nick Fury from the comics. This is Shaft. Somebody was watching Shaft and was like, he can be Nick Fury. So that's what we got. So it ended the episode right there, and hopefully, it'll pay off next week. You know what I mean? I was a little disappointed they didn't have an end credit scene. I guess you really don't need an end credit scene with how they're doing the episodes and stuff, but you can tell with this series so far. I don't want to say it's rushed, but there's stuff missing. I don't know if it's the writing team. I don't know if it's I can't put my hand on it. I couldn't put my finger on it. It doesn't feel like a normal Marvel project. You know what I'm saying? But I can't say it's bad either. You know what I'm saying? It's still kind of interesting, still intriguing, but yeah, I really hope they kind of go out with a bang, because the pacing of this season so far, for me, has not been satisfactory. Now, to others, you can have a different opinion, but it to me is not meeting the standards of what I've been expecting, from them to do. So anyway, leave a comment down in the comment section. Hit that like button if you like what my opinion or whatever, or me doing my little light breakdowns. And tell me, guys, what do you think next week will hold? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to get the location of the real Rhodey? Are we going to see Gravik transform into the Hulk somehow? You know what I'm saying? What in the world do you think is going to happen next week? I, for one, hope they can put a stop to Gravik and he doesn't go on somewhere down the line and we got to deal with him later and he's like super powerful or something like that. I hope they can nip it in the bud now. So you know what I mean, because he's not rap tight. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Until tomorrow for the Vito variants, I will catch you later.